Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got to the part where we are reviewing the new Samurai Showdown. There's been a lot of hype leading up to this release, and let me say, mixed bag of feelings. What do you want to go first with?
Let's go with the good stuff first, because there is a lot of good stuff in this game. You've got the gameplay itself. They can't, gloss over how beautiful this game looks to play, how great it feels to play. After the 8 frames of lags were removed or rectified, it feels buttery smooth to play this game now.
To be fair, too, that was on release.
That was on release.
That was fixed. So, judging it off of release, good stuff.
Even compared to other fighting games of right now, it feels better to play than some fighting games I've played recently. That didn't have that issue on release, or even before release. Not even a blip on the radar about it. So that's something that I've really enjoyed about this game. It kept its simplistic approach. It didn't try to overbloat itself with a bunch of features like some new games do. It's very much a Samurai Showdown game in that respect, at least from what I've experienced.
Well, I'll tell you. Shout outs to Crackprawn who came over the pad on Friday when I was fiending for some offline matches because I needed to see what it was like to play the game. But in just playing the game, it feels so good. I can't remember the last time I played a game that felt so responsive right out the bat. I've been having nothing but fun with the game as far as the gameplay goes. The more time I put into it, the more I get addicted to this game. I can't really say that for anything else. And you know what it is? I think it is because it's a new experience for me. And I think it's a new experience for a lot of other people too, because Sam Show isn't a game that a lot of people have really dug their heels into, and I haven't either. So this is really enlightening experience for me that I get to share with other people that probably normally wouldn't play with.
And I think it's not just the fact that it's enlightening and new, but it's fun. It's a fun experience, even from let's approach it as people who don't play fighting games that much. Just a couple of regular folks. It's still fun to play.
Get that burst rage, dude.
Dude, yeah.
And then get the E-Sen. How's that not dope, dude? There was a ranked match that I had that it was like I, by all intents and purposes, should have lost that match. And I feel like whoever I was playing did not know how burst rage worked, because I burst, they jumped, and then they lost. And I never saw him use that burst rage ever again, because you can actually rematch in ranked mode. Go figure, something that we've been asking for in general for most SNK games. We finally got it only in ranked mode.
So obviously we are getting to the mixed bag portion of the review, and a lot of it finds its home in the netplay experience. This is not something that we're going to enjoy because we played so much KOF 14, right? Played so much KOF 14, and let's face it, no one even played ranked mode in KOF 14 longer than a week or a month,
I'm still stuck in the vortex of skipped ranked mode.
Yeah, you missed the boat on that shit. You're not going to get out of it now. You're forever dusty boat.
Nobody plays anymore.
Nope, it's over. You got to play. You got to prove yourself in the lobbies, man. You can never tell if anybody's playing for real or not. But no, Samurai Showdown's netplay experience is the biggest case of schizophrenia I've ever seen in a fighting game netplay experience. I don't even think that's harsh. I don't even think that's harsh, because I think that it's literally describing what I'm feeling. I play ranked mode, and connection's good if it's good, and I can rematch as much as I want. And it's just like any other game in that respect, right? And so then I'm like, okay, cool. They nailed ranked mode, and we know they can do lobbies. Let's go get these lobbies cracking so we can get the Goon suite or the freaking boot camp going. Get those Goons of Gods of Mayhem shows going. Anything, right? I bet you people want to run online tournaments, basically. Anyway, so you head over to the lobbies, and you're greeted by a very familiar picture, familiar image. If you've played KOF 14, the lobby looks very similar. And you're like, I know this. I'm in the waiting room. I'm going to pop into the queue. And I'll wait my turn. I'm not going to be able to watch the match mid-match because it doesn't work in these kind of games. But, I'll just wait for the next match and I'll watch that, or I'll pop in for my turn. You can't even do that.
Mm-hmm.
It won't even allow you into the room if a match is occurring. Remember Gibby was having that issue where you and I were playing a match and we sent the invite, but he couldn't enter because we were playing a match. So that was the first red flag for me. The second red flag came after our match where we were just like, cool, just getting, the waiting slot, now that you're in.
So before you get into that, let's explain how the lobbies work in 14 when you're queued up.
Okay, go ahead.
Technically, you're queued up in 14, and technically you're queued up in Sam Show, but you're not really though, because it doesn't work that way. You yourself and the person who wins have to put themselves back into the position to play each other again, opposed to in KOF 14, it's winner stays on.
Mm-hmm. If you so choose that function in your lobby room, you can choose elimination, in which case the loser
Do they even have
on.
that option?
They did not have the option as far as I've seen in this game. There's not even a series option. You know what the series option is? It's ranked mode. It's fucking genius.
Dude, like, I gotta find you. Like, for real? Like, if you can find your friend on ranked mode and you don't give a damn about any your points, I guess, it's perfect.
That's your casual. That's your casual section right there.
Because it works really similar to the way it works offline. It's like you just keep going. You just rematch.
But you can't.
Why? Chris, why? Look, dude, me, I'm the type of guy that I definitely like to give some people the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
I am not a smart man. I know it's hard to believe. I am not smart. So I just assume, hey, maybe I just don't get it. And that's how I learn a lot of stuff, right? I was like, you know what? My instinct is this is not working right. But then it's like, well, maybe I just don't know how to use it.
So you blame yourself.
You go through all those stages of doubt, right? Like, no, it's me, it's me, it's me. It's like a relationship. Like when you're in a relationship, you think all the problems are you, right? at least if I don't know.
I totally got you, dude. I've been there.
I'm like, you know what? I'm not being a good enough boyfriend, friend, or whatever it is.
I'm not being a good role model to my daughter right now.
Exactly. Maybe if I tried a little harder, and then you just start seeing like, hey man, what's up? I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to work with you, but I keep feeling like this just is not working.
Like you're getting
and I'm starting to think that it's you. I'm starting to think that maybe it just doesn't work. And look, I will say this: the concept's really cool. Of like how it has like Gibby was saying, it's kind of like the what's that martial arts? No. The concept behind like the
the kendo.
Yeah. The concept was that, which looks really cool. Like I really like it. I think it's really beautiful actually. The way the lobby looks. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand. Like if there's somebody that can, like maybe we're all doing it wrong. But we're not, though. I've come to terms, and we're not. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
So let's describe that a little bit here, because there's been something that's been bothering me about how it doesn't work. I have been saying this since it first happened. So let's face it. You finish a match, and you are greeted to by a countdown timer. It says that the match results will be, cleared and blah, 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 count down to 0. Mm-hmm. Once that countdown ends, the natural flow of things dictate that the loser gets out of the player slot, and the next person in line jumps in. Mm-hmm. Instead, everybody is removed from the lineup and the player slots and put back into the waiting room. Mm-hmm. Problem 1.5. That on its own looks like an accident. I don't know why anybody would ever want to experience a netplay experience like that. I don't know why anybody would actually choose to program a game like that. That looks like something that was just an oversight. So I'll forgive them for that. The thing that I am not entirely sure I can forgive them for, and I'm sure they'll fix it when they can. It's not really that big of a deal, but one of the biggest annoyances in KOF 14 is when you're trying to watch a match or you're trying to stream the lobby, and the player's just ready up before you're able to get to the lobby screen again after the match is over, and you're just stuck watching the lobby for about 5-6 minutes.
It's even worse than this.
It's worse than this.
Because it happens every time. Like, let's just say in 14, as long as you're sitting in the right position, you should be good to observe that lobby, right?
Yeah.
But everything resets completely after every match.
And then,
so you have to be on the ball. So if we're not like us, for instance, we still screwed this up, despite we're all mic'd up and talking to each other. We still screwed up getting in the right positions. If we stream a lobby and we have all the rest of the goons, and you know how they can be.
Just hitting that rematch button, baby.
They're impatient. You think they're going to get out of there? It's going to be first come, first serve, man. You can't give these people that opportunity to take over because they'll do it every time. No. Let me get one more. How many times have you been at like a casual setup and somebody told you that and it almost led to a full-blown fight where it was like, no, let me get one more. No, dude, it was 2 out of 3. It was 2 out of 3. Motherfucker, it was 2 out of 3.
But the thing is, like, the reason why it happens like that, because not only do we all get booted to the waiting room, but the moment you put yourself into a player slot, it auto-readies. You can't turn it off. So if two people just get in the player slot like they're used to doing in Cable 14, they just get in the player slot, and when everybody's ready, they hit OK. That extra step does not exist. The OK is already a given the moment you're in there, which means you and I, in a rush to get back in place because we're sick of getting kicked back into the waiting room, and it's fucking up our stream timing. We just go in there, and then Gibby tells us, "Guys, I wasn't in the waiting slot." Oh shit!
Dude, it's so hard to train yourself too, especially with this game, because I really enjoy playing this game. To not be like, all right, let's get back in there. You know, I want to keep playing. You know, like you have to train yourself to like, okay, let's decompress from this match we just had. Let's make sure we're all in there. You know, it like really.
Let's all use our inside voices and count to 10 before we get back into the rematch slot. That's what
I will tell you. How crazy would it be? And you know what? You're right. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they are going to fix it. Because how is ranked so intuitive, but like casual lobbies are not?
Exactly.
It makes no sense. So the only thing I could come up with is that it wasn't intentional.
Intentional. Okay.
In saying that, though, from what the product that we have now, it's like, we talk about this all the time, man, because I play a lot of games that don't have lobby systems, even a spectator mode.
Oh, man, we've been struggling.
But shout outs to Fexel for finally adding a spectator mode.
God,
because, man, I wish that would have been like that a while ago, because I was really trying to rep that game. But it is what it is. But they put it in. It doesn't matter. It's great for that community. They're not going to, I don't think I'm going to get it for KOF13 anytime soon. I was hoping 5 Special was gonna get it because they got that update.
That's what I'm gonna bring up after this.
But no, but we've been talking about this at length over the past years of how important the lobby system is for your game. It's just, think about it this way right now, right? Like, a lot of people are streaming Sam Show. They're doing pretty decent numbers, right? If you can actually have interaction with the people that you usually play with in the lobby system, just like 14 is such a great case in point, especially for us, because I feel like everybody who plays with us has had such success with the lobby system in 14.
And that shit don't even work perfectly.
It doesn't. Yeah. But it's just enough.
Yeah.
Right. And that has just become so important to the growth of especially a game like this, of like Samurai Shodown, that hasn't had a real good shot in modern times in the mainstream. And here we are. Now it's still really early, and they could still address that problem. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I agree they can address the problem, and I also think it's I'm not a programmer. I'm not a coder. Never built netcode from the ground up for anything. But I gotta believe if you've got something that works for you, and I don't even know if they're cut and pasting it, but I know that they can do this. You know. I know they can make this system work. I think it's going to happen pretty quickly. I don't expect this to be longer than, hopefully not longer than a month. And that's being really generous with the turnaround on this. SNK in the past has seen bugs that have been fairly damaging to the flow of the enjoyment of their game. And this is for KOF 14, you know? And they've nipped it in the bud, like almost immediately, you know? We never even got to see Ramon's Infinite in a lot of tournaments because it was gone already.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that the situation that the game's in right now, it's not a permanent situation, clearly, just by the way that they've been addressing a lot of the issues that they found beforehand. Also, this other thing, They never did a beta. Almost every modern release has done a beta of some sort, right? Maybe you could find an obscure one that didn't, but you go with, I know I saw Guilty Gear do it. I know I saw
we played the Dragon Ball one twice.
I know Tekken did it.
Tekken. Street Fighter 5 did it.
Yeah, exactly. And this one didn't. Now, maybe this is kind of like pointless to bring up, but I feel like, hey, dude, like that's not bad for not having a beta. But then you can look at it like glass half empty. Well, yeah, exactly. You can look at it half empty too. Like, well, maybe if you would have had a beta. But in saying that, in their current situation, I definitely feel like it's going to get addressed. My review of totally, I feel like I have to give separate reviews for this. It's like the game, probably one of the best first out the gate games that I played that's come from out of SNK in a while. I really enjoyed it. It's super fun, and to me that's the most important thing. Am I having fun playing this game? Are the hours just flying by? Am I really motivated to learn this game? Absolutely, yes, all across the board. There hasn't been a day yet where I'm like, you know what? I don't see myself playing this game in the future. And I was afraid of that. Yeah. I was afraid that I was going to feel that way about this game. And you know what's funny? So were a lot of other people. They felt that way too. Where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to stick with Samsho. But after they've had a good crack at it, I think most of us would say it was like, yeah, we're going to be playing this down the road. And that's a really good thing to happen for a game. At least at this point right now.
I would echo your review of the base game.
Yeah.
For me, and I'm sure as much for me as it is for you and every other SNK lifelong fan, it's great to see them do what we know they can do. Do what we always knew they were capable of doing with a game, not just mechanically, because we knew their mechanics were good. We knew they were covered on that front. Visually, they actually pulled it off. You know?
Yeah.
After KOF 13, a lot of people were just like, yo, man, like, when's SNK going to do the next KOF 13? They made 2 games that look like that. The next one's got to look great, you know?
Right.
And then we got 14, and, you know, try as, you know, people might, we could not make that more than what it was visually. You know, even with the visual update, there were still some issues with how that game looked, and it held it back. And it sucked because we were people who, you know, we had good times with that game regardless of that, you know, and we couldn't really no one could really relate to us like that, and that's fine, you know, like we weren't salesmen, we weren't trying to pitch people on playing KOF 14, but
just think about the jump though in presentation alone.
Yes,
in Samurai Shodown, you know,
it's completely night and day, and I don't want to understate the amount of work that went into 14, but the amount of work that obviously went into making Samurai Shodown what it is right now is just a complete 180 from that. You know, that is, it's absolutely different levels, and it also leaves room to see SNK grow further, and they are going to grow further because we've seen what they're capable of. And if this game's any indication, they're not even reaching 100% potential yet. You know?
Yeah, man.
I'm excited.
And you know, obviously this part of the game, like it's getting reviewed by me from a perspective of like I like to play games competitively.
Yeah.
So I didn't dip much into the story, and I didn't dip much into the AI thing. I wish I had time to mess with that, but I kind of don't understand how that works, so I can't say my piece on those other things. However, presentation, like I said, the lobby, the concept's cool as hell, man. Like when you go into the lobby, you create the casual gaming lobby.
It's actually what we wanted too. Like there's no extra slots, and we don't have to worry about people coming into our lobby and then playing in other rooms. You know, like they have to play in the room available.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the base game's it's great. It's a great game. I would give it
what's our scale here?
I don't know. How should we measure these? Oh, we'll go with max being 5.
Okay, 5. All right.
I would give it, dude, because I'm so biased. Because I love SNK so much, and I love Samurai Showdown and its characters, and I think the game so far, right now, currently at where we're at, this game, I would have to give it either an A- or a B+, which is saying a lot, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you can say that a lot for an initial release on the game.
No.
For the base game, now online, dude, it's like D or F. Outside of ranked, I guess that'll bump it up. You know, probably like D+, because ranked's legit. The netcode itself, it's hit or miss. Like, it's kind of like KOF for me. Like, for me, I actually have a good connection with a lot of people, like one-on-one. I don't know if it's because we were multiple people in the lobby or what it was that made our connection absolutely terrible.
Real talk, it might just be me, man. I think Comcast is like just not even trying to work anymore, you know?
Oh, well, maybe. But like, if it did feel like KOF 14, which for me is a positive.
Mhm.
The netcode worked really well for me, and I could play across country and do pretty well. It seems to be the same here. But again, this is for me. Rank bumps it up, I guess. But the really valuable thing to me was the casual lobby, and I feel like it was really badly executed.
Yeah, like the value because we are content creators. The value of lobbies for Twitch streamers is it's impossible to overstate it. One of the things that I always regretted about 13 was that we couldn't do endless lobby streams. You know, like you got to see all these Marvel players and these Street Fighter 4 players run these endless lobbies and just leave the computer on and go to work and make money because people were there all day playing on this person's stream in their lobby. You know, you couldn't do that with our games.
It's such a, for me, streaming KOF 14 has been such a fun experience. Having the lobby open, having the people in chat interact with me and play with me at the same time, and it's just you're missing out on a really cool experience if you can't do that.
You are,
and that, unfortunately, I want that so bad for Samurai Showdown, man. Like, I want to be able to share this experience with other people, but you can't right now.
You literally can't. It's impossible. I mean, you could, but you wouldn't ask anyone to go through this much trouble in your own house. You know, you're basically saying, all right, once you guys get done playing, get the fuck out, come back in, and whoever gets to the controller first gets to play the next match. Like, what kind of punk, like Brewster's Million shit is that, man? I'm gonna give it a slightly different kind of review though. So in the base game, I'll match that. I think 4 out of 5 stars or whatever Goon heads is safe. It's fair. I think there's some things with the character balance that I'm not really feeling. There's a lot of things that tool set wise I'm a little underwhelmed with at this point, but that's something that could grow on me. Although some characters I don't think they're ever going to get any better unless they're actually touched by developer hands, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's just out the window for that. And normally character balance doesn't bother me like that, but it just feels like some of these characters were not as thought out as they could have been.
Dude, just play Genjiro, bro. What is your problem, bro? Why are you doing this?
I'm not talking about Kyoshiro, although he's a great example of that. Anyway, so I give it 4 out of 5 based upon that. The net play experience, I think I give it a C. I give it a middle of the road C because I do give points for intent. I think that SNK tried to do something that they, not something they had never done before, but they tried to expedite, what's the word exactly? They tried to...
Wait a minute. So if you tell me that if I sell you a car that's meant to drive down the road and it fails to drive down the road, that you'd be like, well, I see what your intent was. I'm not gonna give you an F.
Well, I'm still gonna get my money back, but I'll give you a C on Yelp or something. Yeah.
You're a nice guy. Okay.
I'm a nice guy.
Continue.
I enjoy the idea of what they went for here, and I don't think they did that just to be like, fuck it, we did something. You know, I think they were actually trying to be efficient. I mean,
it's not judging them as people, you know.
No. I'm talking about as developers.
I'm sure they did mean for it to come out well, but like at the end of the day, the product is the product.
The product is the product. The things that you can't look past are, does it work for me? That's why I gave it a C. If I wanted to give it all the points I wanted to, then I would give it a B. Just play rank mode. You know, if you're playing lobbies, you know what the fuck's wrong with you? I'm not like that though. I think that especially for the community that was basically keeping SNK in the papers for the last couple of years, those dudes love lobbies. You know, they don't really do ranked, and the fact that lobbies are kind of messed up is a huge downer. You know, that's something that at out the box that should work. You know, out the box the whole net play thing should work. It's 2019. There's no reason why this shouldn't work. There are games out there that are unfortunately not that popular, but are doing netcode better than the big hitters. Samurai Shodown being one of the big hitters at this point. I think it's time for SNK, and I think they're the perfect company to do this because they've already proven that they're willing to reach out to outside forces for not necessarily just advice, but for guidance. You know, for a way to go, because it's only going to help. And I think it's time for them to reach out there and say, hey, who can do this? You know, like who's got a good idea? Obviously, they were talking to somebody because they wouldn't flip the netcode on the Sam Show V Special for PS4 and then put it on Steam. Now it's running on the rollback netcode.
If I were to say, hey, if you were to ask me, hey, are you hopeful for this game eventually being what it was intended to be? I would say yes. Would you ask me, if you asked me, should I invest in this game? I would say yes. But if you asked me my score on the game as is, I would say the game itself, 4.5 out of 5. The net play experience, 1.5 if I'm being nice. As it is. But like I said though, if you were to ask me to invest in this, I'd say yeah. Absolutely.
I believe in it.
The game's gonna work. It's gonna come together. I have 100% faith, and you know what? They've given enough in the past month to show you that they're willing to go that
right. They've taken steps
for this game. You know?
Yeah, and they've taken steps that other companies have not in the past, and and now I don't want to sit here and compare this game and SNK to other companies and their games at all. Really, those are two different companies, literally. Yeah. But it's hard not to acknowledge that they've been moving a lot quicker than those other interests in terms of Samurai Shodown. So it is very heartening to hear that, Crispy Kaiser was on Twitter today saying, hey, man, we hear your frustrations. You know, we're just as frustrated as you are, and we're working to get this fixed. So they're definitely on top of it. And I believe them when they say that because they've already proven that they are able to do that.
Yeah, and also want to give thanks to SNK for just in general really supporting the community.
Yes.
By Crispy Kaiser's been hanging around a lot of the
boy putting in work, dude. Shout out to Crispy Kaiser, new dad, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's a big step. Yeah. I'm trying to get there myself.
Hey, no hurry.
Yeah. But yeah, SNK, people at Athlon, they let me go over there with Gibby and try out the game early. We were able to debut Shiki here. The tournament that they had at Combo Breaker to get the first trailer for Yoshitora. Yeah, man, it's a lot of support. In general, the support the game's getting and stuff like that, like I said, I would definitely invest in this game. I feel like you're in good hands. Before I get to the next or our final points, how about just go ahead? Let me look at this real quick.
You want me to put something up?
No. Let's read up Gibby's.
Oh, the list. Okay, yeah.
If I can't make it to the show tonight, okay, guys. So, Gibby couldn't make it tonight because he's a big shot and he's out at CEO. And he's doing cool stuff out there with Samurai Shodown and the other SNK people on the publisher.
He's having a good time in Daytona.
Oh, yeah. I hope he's sweating balls out there.
He's sweating something out there, man.
Anyways, I'm gonna read off this list of what Gibby left us of his review. He didn't give us a number or anything. He just said things he liked, didn't like, or are they all things he didn't like? Okay. Lobbies are objectively garbage. Quite possibly the worst for fighting games ever. Yikes.
He ain't wrong.
Okay. Online is mixed experience. I played people across country with no issues. But
wow!
underline here on this part, but Hell Pockets had a ton of issues with him, and I'm pretty sure it's Hell Pockets and NorCal issues. Another point, not a fan of some hitboxing. Another point, Genjiro is blatantly strong.
Sure, true.
Another point,
sure.
Darlie is beautiful and strong. And the very, very last point, I can't wait to see more non-SNK Samurai Shodown players get into this game and take over. Ooh, he does not like you guys. Ooh. Anyways, that is his review. Gibby, wish you could have been here, man. Thank you for the words of wisdom.
Yeah, that dude sold out. No,
yeah.
No KOF players in my Samurai Shodown.
And he's the reason why we didn't have codes day one.
Yeah, he is the reason why, dude. I had to freaking send ninjas to his house to get my code. Damn. Shyster.
But yeah, man. How about we throw out the numbers again just to wrap it up on what we thought the whole experience was.
The whole experience was. All right,
so for the game, Chris, what did you give the base game without considering online play?
All right, so the base game on its own, if I'm just playing offline, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 slaps to the ass. It's a great experience. I'm having a lot of fun playing the game. It's a great game to commentate at any time of the day, believe me. I know. It's going to only grow from here, I believe. It's got a lot of hype behind it because it's a very simplistic game that anybody can get into.
Yeah. Okay,
what's up?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, my only gripe is some character balance. That's it.
Okay. So, for me, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 as well. The game's really fun. I picked top tier, so I don't know what you guys are playing, and it's very enjoyable for me. The visuals, the presentation, fantastic. I'm having a great time with the game. I have a lot of hope for it. Definitely invest your time. You are not wasting it at all. 4 out of 5 for me, and 4 out of 5 from Hell Pockets for the base game. Now, let's move on to the online portion of Samurai Shodown. Chris Hell Pockets, what do you rate the online experience?
Well, I give the online experience a hesitant 2.5 out of 5. I think that the improvements that they tried to make are very, in theory, impressive, and I hope that they get fixed so that we can experience the full brunt of their efficiency, basically. They got rid of the extra rooms in the lobbies, which means people can't just come up in your room and just play in other slots and lag your whole lobby while you're trying to stream. That's great. And the rank mode works. The rank mode has rematch mode on it, rematch option on it, so you can actually play in an endless set with your buddy if you find him. Unfortunately, if you want to play with your buddy, you're going to have a rough time because the lobby, the casual matches are absolute trash. It's a garbage fire in there right now.
Oh, that hurt. I could tell that hurt to say.
It definitely hurt, man. I got a little choked up saying that, and I like I said earlier, like I definitely give them points for trying, but it's going to take a little bit more than that. This is 2019. The net play experience needs to be better, flat out.
Okay, so just to recap one more time, what's the score?
4 out of 5 for the base game, and 2.5 out of 5 for... Actually, no, 4.5 out of for the base game because the music is awesome. There we go. 2.5 out of 5 for the online experience because it don't work.
Okay, so for me, I'll give it a 1 out of 5 for the online experience. It just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. The only reason I'm giving it a... I would give it a 1.5, and the 0.5 would be because rank mode actually works really well. It really does. If you're only into ranked, and you know what? Since I don't really play games in ranked at all, you guys are going to have a blast on ranked. But for me, the value of the lobby system is so damn important that I feel like that's what's taken a big hit for me on the score. So 1.5 for me. So once again, 4, technically rounding down, 4 out of 5 for both of us on the base gameplay.
Mhm.
Chris, you had 2 point something for the online
86.
play, and I had one out of 5 for the online play.
It's basically a 2.
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, average out for a 2.
Not really though. Not really.
Not
no,
really,
the
though.
point matters. The 0.5 matters. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been our review of the new Samurai Showdown. Like we said, invest your time. It is worth it. This game is fun. Play offline with your friends. Go to locals. Stream the game. Do whatever you can. This game's got legs. And see you at Evo for this review.
God.
Thank you very much for this review, and watch all our other stuff on. Okay.